Good evening. Welcome to IX Growth Training. My name is Sarah Shabbat for those of you that are just joining us for the first time. And we also have Eric Garrison and Doug Corbett who are hosting this with me this evening. We do this every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're also debating whether we want to move this an hour earlier or not. We kind of talked about that earlier today. We wanted some feedback on that from you guys to see what the best time was for everybody. We want to make this as easy as possible for people to join in. These meetings are not just going to be, us talking at you guys. We really want, for those of you that feel comfortable doing so, to interact with us. That's what we want, is everybody to feel like they're a part of the community. And I know that everybody has, great things to share with everybody. And we also want to be able to answer any questions that people may have. Tonight, we just finished a great promotion. I'm sure you guys all killed it. It kept us pretty busy. And of course, we all have everybody that waits till the 11th hour to get their hands on it too. So you have the craziness at the end of it. So I kind of feel like we can take a deep breath today since we don't have all of the promotion last minute, let me get this in before I miss it type deals. But that was a great, 18 pack for $500. And I hope many of you were able to take advantage and help many others get their hands on
Put
it.
away safely.
But we,
Your wallet or a new wallet.
you guys are unmuted and you have some background noise. If you don't mind muting yourselves, sorry guys. But they just announced another promotion. It's not as exciting, I would say, but I wanted to bring it to your attention. But it's the CEO's birthday promotion. It's only good for 72 hours. And what that is that it's $20 off the basic pack, which is the $130 pack. So you can get that for $110 right now. And $20 off the premium, which is $155 right now instead of $175. So I just wanted to make you guys aware of that if you didn't see it. And there is a code that you have to enter at the time of doing that. It's for renewals and it's also for new members. When you want to take advantage of that, the promo code is CEO B Day. So if you guys aren't aware of that, I'll post it in our group chat. And Doug and Eric and I had a little conversation earlier, and we were kind of talking about what we wanted to, focus on this training. And we did want to talk about that promotion, but I really wanted you guys to hear from Doug, and I wanted you to hear from Eric, and I'll chime in too. But the way they go about introducing the packs, because we do have 3 different packs. For those of you that know, we have the $50 pack, which is more or less, I just want to get my hands on the nodes. I'm more of an investor. I don't care to share or refer this. Then you have the $130 pack, which is good enough for most people that want to take advantage of the comp plan and they want to get their hands on these nodes. And then you have the $175 pack, which is the premium pack. And that one unlocks pretty much everything, the trading, the e-commerce education, and everything else that they have to offer. So there are 3 different tiers of memberships. Eric or Doug, whoever wants to kind of chime in, you guys were telling me the way you guys go about it, because we also do have a mixed bundle where it's neither and not any of those 3, but it has the 2 130 and the 175 bundled in with micronodes, and you save some on that. So, I mean, I think Doug, that's what you were saying you focus on, right? Or you're muted.
Right. So yeah, I was saying I really focus on the micro packs. So I'm working with people just to have all of their money go to assets. So unless I have somebody who's really interested in the trading part of this business, which I don't really have anybody that's doing that. So I just start out, with $250 a month, and 100% of that goes to assets. You're getting almost $130 value for free. So, it's a no-brainer for me. You put it on a credit card and you can change the micros that you're stacking every single month. So, you can do 1, 2, or 3 months of black gold, 1, 2, or 3 months DCM. I'm starting everybody with DCM right now because there's just such a great story about, how much you're stacking right now every day up until June 30th. So I've gotten a lot of people started that way. I know, and Eric's going to talk a little bit about the $50 for people that are just investors, but I still think, anybody who's going to be coming in and buying perpetuals, I feel like $150 a month at a minimum, and preferably $250. It's just a nice baseline because, and one of the things I'm going to talk a little bit about later is which project's going to pop and when. And so you can be thinking about this. I want to hear from the field, what you guys are going to do if you get 100x on one of your projects. If you've got $1,000 in coin and it goes up 100x. So now you got, at 100x, you got 100,000. At 1,000x, you've got $1 million just on $1,000 of coin right now. This is entirely possible. So I'm really focused on people just stacking coins and buying perpetuals that people can afford it. And, maybe some can't afford it at 5,000, but then they just wait a little longer and get in at 1,500 or 1,000 or whatever works for their particular financial situation. But because that brings in the assets. But I think I just prefer to bring people in at the 150 or 250 baseline. And at 250, they're completely qualified for all the business building. It's 80 BV, and you can build a team, you can accrue volume. If you're not building a team, you can still accrue volume while you wait and watch. So I really like that strategy. Start at 250, and then if they're a little tight on money, then we do 150. So yeah. So Eric, you want to talk?
Yeah, and I can just kind of share with you. I still do the 150 and also the 250 projects as well. But I like to fill people out. When they contact me, I just kind of like to find out where they're at mentally, where they're at financially right now. There's a lot of people that contact us that even the 150 and 250 is a hurdle for them right now. And I'm kind of the mindset of, hey, I'd like to at least get them in for, at least the $50 just so that they can get in and get plugged in. And then when they have the 150 or whatever they may have at that time, save up for or whatever, and then they can get a few of the nodes, the micros working for themselves, and then they can see it. But at least with the 50 now, back in the day you couldn't, but now with the 50 now, people can get in and at least start to build the business side, because I have quite a few people that have joined for the 50 and they just don't have a lot of money, but they want to tell a few people about it, and so they can get a few commissions working for themselves, and then they can come in and do some of the micronodes and then scale up. That's one thing I teach a lot in trading is how to get people locked in so that they can start small and slowly scale up and then diversify the funds that they get, so they can kind of branch out and diversify into different opportunities. And that way, at that point, they've got the ability to generate, multiple incomes, and then start to put together kind of a portfolio of things that work for themselves. So that's what I've been able to teach people, and I just kind of step them along. Now, I get people all the time that say, hey, you know what? I've got about $5,000 just sitting, and I want to start getting that working for me. Okay, wonderful. Then that's a different direction that I can take those people and talk to them about, more of the strategy of getting in with what are the micronode plans, and then maybe get a perpetual right now. Like the drip right now is $1,000. I've got a guy that just did 2 of those today, and it's just taking advantage of those opportunities when people are ready to do it, and that fit what his ultimate goal was a little better than, say, somebody that didn't have a lot of income or anything right now to be able to get in. So everybody has their own strategy. That's what's worked for me. Me and Doug also work a lot together as well on individuals that have reached out to us, and we can share some of that in a few minutes here too.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Before we move on, I want to kind of just open this up maybe for some questions pertaining to the PACs or anything that may have to do with this.
I have a question, Sarah.
Absolutely.
as the gentleman was saying, he does the 250. So if you start off with the 250, can you go down to the 150 if you're having a rough month or something?
Yes, it's might be a little bit tricky because until the website is completely rebuilt, the way the whole thing is designed, you can only upgrade, you can't really downgrade. So you probably need to let it cancel for a day or two and then go to the 150.
Thank you.
But that would be a great question for Misty.
I have a question.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So one of the things that I've been, hi, my name is George Jesus. Hello, everyone. I'm new as well. One of the things that I was, excuse me, let me get a little comfortable here. It's a little unexpected. I just find it odd that I need to send BTC to an external address. Now, let me finish for a second before you jump into the answer. Primarily because, what do you call it? Sending BTC, like, I get it that we're trying to get away from a TradFi. I get that part of it. And I get that you guys are dealing with a different type of business and economics and entire, you're not really dealing with the US financial system. However, the onboarding process for me, at least, I didn't feel too comfortable sending any of my BTC to anyone's address, to be honest with you. So do you have any other option for onboarding? Like, do you have any other ramp? Because I didn't see one when I tried to check out for my the full license, the node. So the only thing I saw was, and I'm actually on the dashboard right now.
Jorge, so there is, you can send a wire. There is
I
an
don't have a traditional bank account.
Okay. So the two ways right now for the perpetual licenses are sending either crypto or sending a wire. It won't be like this for long because of what's coming with we're going to be having a debit card that's being given to us, and it's going to be associated with a very friendly crypto bank. It's Royal Bank of Scotland. It's maybe
Yes, I know. That's one of the few banks. Yeah.
right. So that's about 30 days out. I don't want to say an exact date just because they've missed deadlines before, but
Mhm.
July 1st is
Yeah, give or take a few. Yeah. I
yeah.
get it.
So we're about a month away from being able to have a much easier process of purchasing. But for right now, unfortunately, the two ways that you can go about buying a full license is either a wire transfer or sending cryptocurrency.
Well,
No,
let me, Eric, excuse me 1 second. Yeah. Eric, can you talk a little bit about having him use debt token, either, sending in Binance and swapping for and buying with debt tokens?
And that's one thing I was just going to say. There is a process where you can actually go to your exchange, utilize your exchange, and you can send your BNB or your Binance token. So it's the Binance BSC is what
the
they
Binance
call it.
Smart Chain.
Yeah, correct. So what you can do is you can send the money into your exchange. However, you can convert it to the BNB, and then you can send that over into your back office. Once it's into your back office, then that allows you then at that point when you go to purchase a perpetual node or whatever you may want to, that gives you an option then to use the debt back end to be able to purchase those nodes. I do that. It's pretty fast. I like doing that because it posts to my account very, very quickly versus me having to send over Bitcoin.
So you're saying go to BSC? I have a Binance account with not the US one. However, I'm a little bit confused as to the process that you just
Sure.
said.
So I use an Exodus wallet. That's how I do it because it's
Yeah, I know
instantaneous.
Exodus. I know it very well.
Yeah. So what I do is I'll keep a slush in my Exodus, and then I'll utilize my Exodus. I'll convert whatever coin may be in there. If it's USDT or whatever, I'll convert it over to the BNB BSC, and then I'll send that over to my back office in my debt box in the back end there, because you can send it directly in there, and then at that point you can convert it to the debt coin. Just immediately just send it over.
Yeah, I saw that.
I
saw some. I actually just learned about the debt coin.
Yeah, and it makes it fast doing that. That, like Sarah was talking about, you guys, we've got some really cool stuff coming here very, very soon. Matter of fact, we're going to have one of the things that we were just talking about on another call. We're going to have an entire debt blockchain that's coming.
Yeah,
And
that
you
sounds
guys,
great.
it's going to
Is it
change
going
it
to be
all.
proof of work or proof of stake?
Work.
Thank you.
Yep, it's all work. So all of that is coming. It's close. I'm telling you right now, if this isn't something that's 90 days out or whatever. This could be pretty instantaneous. It's happening right now. The reason why is the company needs this. The company needs it for the back end to be able to go to that
That makes
next
sense.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to that next level in the new
For
products. and stuff
fees,
that-
tokenomics.
Yep.
Yeah, you need all that.
It's
Yeah.
going to change all of this, you guys. And so be excited about that. We all are. when we first got into this, Bitcoin was pretty much our option in converting and sending. And just like Jorge, I wasn't the most biggest fan of that, but hey, it is what it is right now. But now they're converting it over, and having the Royal Bank of Scotland is going to change all of that too. So it's all coming into play, and it should be very, very quickly here.
Yeah, hey,
Thank you.
You bet. Anytime.
Megan's got a question.
Yes. Oh, hi, Megan.
Hey, yeah. So basically just like a question, if we could possibly have a bit of a training to help others kind of understand on here how to then train others how to go in, exchange from send the Binance BSC to the debt wallet, and then be able to swap out for tokens as well. I think like it's really a great idea to get some of the to get them into the IX positions, but then to also show them just the value at points of being able to swap for other tokens in the debt system. Sorry, that's my son.
Right. We have a few videos that have already been put together that are in the YouTube in the company, and then also that Travis had done in the past. But yes, if you want more of a one-on-one training, we can do that as well. I do that quite often with people, and the reason why I say the one-on-one is because there's a lot of private information and stuff that is shared on those videos that I don't like doing a lot of. But if it's more of the one-on-one, yeah, I'd be happy to spend the time and show you how to utilize your exchange, convert it to the BNB, and then convert it over to your back end. And so it's just a process. And once you learn that process, it's pretty smooth. But I'm just saying within a very short period of time coming up, I'm saying probably within 30 to 45 days, we're going to be going down a different path here very quickly. So.
Mm-hmm. So look, I just want to answer that also, that I encourage my people to just go in and swap some coins, send some BNB in just so they have it, take $100, whether you're on crypto.com, an exchange, or Exodus, just get the BNB, make sure you get the right one. So get really clear about which Binance coin you need, go into your debt buy, whether you do it on the phone or you do it on the computer dashboard, just go grab your wallet address, your inbound wallet address at the debt box, and you just send the Bitcoin, the BNB over there. Once it's in there, you go on your phone. You can't do it on your computer. You just go on the phone. There are 3 buttons at the top. The one on the right is swap. You just click on it. There are 2 drop downs. What do you want to sell? What do you want to buy? Confirm it. It shows you can do a quarter, a half, full amount. It's so easy. If you just do it once, you get everybody to just do it once, they realize how fast they can do it. And this is a really good question, because part of what I wanted to do on these calls is to learn, how do we train our people to use this debt box ecosystem more efficiently and more effectively, right? Because some of what we want to do is, and Erica can get into this more tonight and more on future calls, Eric is probably the best person in the entire company in terms of leveraging his success into new projects, right? So running up his natural gas, selling a portion of that to buy new tokens that come out, new perpetuals that come out, and that sort of thing. I think he's more advanced than anybody in the company. We've got him right here. So, but the thing to do is to just get people started and do it with $50 or $100, just in case you get the wrong coin. But it's, just make sure you get the BSC Binance, and or you could wait a month. But I just think this is part of, for me, when I bring people into this, this is a structure of support for people to get better at cryptocurrency and this whole separate ecosystem. So, this is a perfect way for them to just get more skilled at it, because you want to have some money ready. I mean, one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight, and I don't know if we'll get to it or not, but really positioning yourselves first and foremost, but then everybody on your team to be ready for what's coming in the next 30 to 90 days. It's going to be a whirlwind, and you want to be set up to take advantage of some of these things. And if you haven't even moved money around yet, you're not really ready to take advantage of it. So I encourage people, yes, it may change in 30 or 45 days, but today it's going to matter today. So
Yeah.
between the L1, getting onto our own L1 blockchain instead of being on Binance and subject to the whims of Binance pulling out of Canada and whatever else they decide to do. And also it brings in more liquidity. So other projects are going to start building on our blockchain, which means they all have to use the debt token. So it's going to drive the debt token up more than even just getting on Binance. So if you don't have any debt token, I mean, I said, anyway, so I'll stop there.
No, I think that was perfect, Doug. I mean, it's kind of the saying, rising tide raises all ships, and that's what we're about to see.
Yes.
And I mean, I don't think any of us even fully understand how big this is going to be. I mean, even us talking about it right now, we only understand a little bit of it because it's such the infancy stages.
Yes. One of the other things that we wanted to talk about was there's a new partnership coming on. The debt box is pretty much finalized. It is coming on really quick. They're going to add 1.7 million new active crypto users. So IX Global brought 100,000 investors to the debt box, help with liquidity significantly. That was one of the things they wanted to solve. So IX Global represents 100,000 of the 400,000 active investors at the debt box. They're about to bring on 1.7 million active investors. That's going to blow through some of these projects. It's going to speed up the timeline. They're going to come in, they're going to wipe out, and Drip and Bev, these things are going to sell out and go to NFT in a matter of days, potentially. So you just want to be ready for that. You get Drips are $1,000. If it's going to be an NFT in 3 weeks and you can sell it for $10,000, you want to do that. And you want to let your people know these opportunities are coming. It's really pretty mind-blowing how many things are really coming all together, all in the next 3 months, and some of it sooner.
Yeah, some of the things are coming. I use this as an analogy. We're going from a BW to a Lamborghini, you guys, in the realm of things. I mean, just the functionality, the speed, everything that's coming for us is big, and you have to, with the amount of this group that's coming on board with the 1.7, we have to go from where we're at to something different very, very quickly before that volume. We already have bottlenecks. We already have, the process side's a little slow on certain things and stuff. That's all changing because we're going to have to accommodate that volume that's coming in, both on the network side, but then also on the business side of the growth of this. So that's happening very, very quickly. And everything that Doug just spoke about, we could have about 10 different classes on this stuff, you guys, because there's so much there. There's just there's so much, each individual part. This company, there's just so much moving. There's so much moving going on at all time. We talk about the process side is extremely important, because when a new person comes on board, is making sure that they understand, okay, when they come on board, step 1 is this, step 2 is this, step 3 is this, because we want them to be able to find that process side down so they can get their nodes up and functioning and running. Any way we can shorten that time frame, the better it's going to be. And I think that's what we've kind of put together in our process side, is with what we've been doing already is, okay, step 1, we send this material, we get them signed up. Step 2 is this, and step 3. So we can spend a lot of time on educating and teaching what we've been able to do and kind of work out that process side. And those are going to be individual. I mean, those will be classes that we can have basically on here to kind of do that. If all of that will help you guys, if you guys feel like, you know, that will help you, we can definitely do that. But you know, there's things that we talked about last week that we were going to talk about this week, but now all of a sudden I've got a list here of more stuff that we got to talk about down the road also. So you know, I can share. Do you want me to share some of the stuff when I was talking about last week on ways to generate lead flow? Was something that you guys want me to kind of hit on a little bit?
I would
Sounds
love
good to
that.
me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm willing to do that. So, you know, a lot of groups, you know, they're big advocates of Facebook, and so I like Facebook. It's cool, it's fun, it's all that. But you know, if you're going to want to find good leads, like I've been able to find people, I like to join groups, meaning groups, not just Facebook. I'm just talking about groups. There's lots of groups, blogs, and different things that you can get involved in and join. You know, if you have a hobby, I highly suggest, you know, if you're a golfer and you like to golf, join a golf group. You know, get in there, meet some of these guys and talk to them or whatever. There's a lot of online opportunity blogs as well. You can get on Google, you can search them and they'll pop up. You can join those groups. And when you get in there, there's jillions. And I mean, there's one group I'm in, you guys, it's got over 1 million people in it. 1 million people. It's amazing. It blows me away. It's worldwide. 1 million people looking for ways to make money online. I'll just tell you, the other day I was on there and I put on, hey, you guys, I'm looking for opportunity to make money online so I can diversify. And I must have got 6,000 hits on that. I mean, it was unreal. And here I am grinding and I'm digging through each one of them. And all I do, you guys, I mean, I look at some of them are cool, you know, whatever they've got. And I'm like, oh, that's really awesome. You know, different, you know, pills for your gas and whatever, you know, there's something for everything. But what I have done is I take the tables and I turn it on them. I've just been able to do this. So what I do is I'll be like, hey, you know, that looks like a great opportunity, but I don't know if it will fit into my wheelhouse of the things that I'm going on that I really like to do. And then a lot of people will come back and say, well, what is it that you're doing? Oh, I'm involved in crypto. Have you ever heard of Debtbox? Boom. Immediately, I got them out on the hook. No, what is that? All of a sudden, that immediately when they say, well, no, I haven't heard of that. What is it? That's a lead. That's a hot lead at that point. And I can work with them as long as they're open-minded to it. I can get them the icebreaker videos and I'll be having a conversation with them within probably a couple, 2-3 hours. Literally, that's how fast I move on them. So I'm just telling you, groups of hobbies of things you like to do is great. Blogs are awesome. Awesome. People, I don't think enough people take advantage of blogs, but if you can get on those blogs, especially people like-minded looking for ways to make money. Now you got to be careful. There's sharks in there too. There's people in there that just have bad intentions. And you got to learn what you're looking for, especially if anybody asks you for money. Don't do any of that. Just get rid of them. Say, no, I'm not interested. But there are genuinely people on there that are looking for ways to make money. That's why they're in those groups, or there are other people involved in other companies. Matter of fact, there are other people from IX in there, and it's kind of funny. But I will just tell you, I've signed up a ton of people from that, and I get probably 3 to 4 people a day from putting out. I call it fishing. Is what I do is I just take the bait and I throw it out there, and whatever gets on, I kind of work with it and see where it goes. But do you guys like those ideas like that?
Yes.
Okay. The blogs work good. You know, everybody's got a hobby for the most part. You know, if you work in the salon or whatever, there's a lot of different groups out there. And, you know, and like I say, it doesn't matter really what the group is, as long as you've got some rapport with those people, they'll listen to you, and you'll build friendships, and you just never know where it will go. But I will just tell you, it's a great way. Just be careful that you don't want to post stuff like you're trying to sell something in the blog. Don't do that. Make sure you talk to them and you build the rapport after they ask you for information. That way you're not breaking any rules and stuff and get kicked out. But it can be a wealth of people for you guys if you know how to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. Sarah, can I segue into the sort of three-way call thing?
Absolutely. I feel like it kind of goes hand in hand because once you catch their attention, I feel like people kind of don't know. They
Yeah,
may feel intimidated or they don't know how to go about what to do next.
great. Yeah. So Eric and I have been teaming up and doing this together. So one of the things Eric does is when he gets somebody who's interested, he sends them the 3-minute teaser videos on Facebook and includes me on the notice and just says, hey, Doug, I'm letting you know, Elliot is interested. He's watching the videos. He's going to let us know as soon as he finishes the videos when he's ready to have a Zoom with us. And then I just chime in and I just say, hey, Elliot, I look forward to meeting you and hearing about your financial goals and seeing if we can help you. So now it's a group, so they're feeling taken care of. There's a lot of reasons why that part of it works. And sometimes, because also Eric travels and he's really busy on Zooms. So sometimes I can respond to them quicker when they just have a quick question or they want to schedule. I can set up the Zoom schedules and I can text Eric where they don't have his text. And so we can facilitate the Zoom because our goal is to get people on a Zoom call where they've watched some of the videos with Travis. They know that Travis is our business partner. And then they meet us. And Eric and I just, we pitch different parts of the plan together. But I've just learned over the years that three-way calls are just so effective. Like sometimes I can be talking and Eric can be looking up something to talk about. If something comes up, he can do a search and get the facts ready. He comes in with those facts and then I can regroup and I can listen to what the person is saying. And also every time we do it, I learn something different from Eric. So I'm getting trained. I'm learning more about, not only his background, but, also what he's buying, why he's buying it, why he's selling things. And so it's a real, so I encourage people to find a partner. If your sponsor is inactive, and many times sponsors are inactive, just find somebody on the sideline or somebody who's upline or downline from you that you just sort of connect with where it works. You work as a team because I'm telling you, it's much more effective than just one-on-one. They feel more taken care of. They're getting different perspectives. I have more of a traditional business, 40-year business background. So I just bring some different perspective. So anyway, I just wanted to say, put in a plug for finding a partner doing three-way calls because it really works. So
And
Yes.
I do want to kind of reiterate that you guys do have them watch videos before you get on the phone. I feel like that's really important. I know that it's easy to kind of want to skip that and be like, hey, I want to get you in front of somebody that knows, but it's better to have somebody not come in cold and totally lost and you trying to explain what this is and have them watch something so that they can kind of have a better understanding of what this is and they can have maybe questions even ahead of time. I feel like that is very important to have those steps happen in first.
Thanks, Sarah. It's not even necessarily that they're learning anything. They get a sense of who Travis is maybe, but you know what? If they're not willing to watch a 3-minute video, I'm not going to spend an hour on the phone with them.
Yeah.
And, teaching them about crypto and investing. So yeah, it's just another level of screening to know when we get people on there. I mean, I think Eric and we probably went 7 or 8 Zooms in a row where we closed every single person.
Yeah.
In the debt box at minimum $250 level. And in many cases more than that, significantly more than that. So anyway, that works. So, So one of the things that I'd love to do is because I know a lot of you are on Sarah's team and Kevin's team that I don't really know you. I'd love to hear from some of you guys. One, either what you're buying, what you're kind of saving up for, and what you're buying right now, what you're looking to buy at the debt box that really excites you, or what you're going to do when one of these things pops. If you've got $1,000 worth of coin, what are you going to do if it hits $100,000 in August? So I just love to hear, kind of why you're doing this. You're going to buy a house, you're going to buy a boat, you're going to pay off debt. What are you going to do and why?
You guys manifesting and
Oh.
speaking what you want from this is really important so that you can remind yourself what you're working and investing for.
Okay, so I found out about it, and kind of one of the things that I've been really stuck on is explaining to people that I wish that I would have followed up last summer in regards to some of these projects. And so I think a lot of other people are going to probably be kicking themselves. I know they're going to be kicking themselves in a year. I actually had a girl yesterday that was talking to me and she was like, hey, Megan, I missed out when Bitcoin was only at 80 cents. And she's, kicking herself. So of course, she missed out on like the node pack last night with just getting busy with the family. And I totally get it because I've had to take the time to research, but I just reached out to her again to say like, hey, I think some like things are going to explode here soon. We should look at getting a drip license, so that you have at least one perpetual at a very achievable price, because she said that she was needing to stay around $500. So me personally, I want to be able to have some financial freedom to not feel like you're just drowning. Having a bachelor's in nursing and being a nurse manager outside Philadelphia, you need minimally $200,000 as like a household to even live in low middle class.
Mhm.
And right now it's just completely, suffocating to feel like this. So I felt, through the projects, I have a little bit of every single token in my debt wallet.
Wow.
And then I also have it was like $75 here, $75 there that I would, maybe even like $30 if I couldn't afford it. I got debt token when it was at $6 at the lowest.
Mhm.
And it was like, oh, okay, let me get, $100 of the debt token, just to grab a couple of those. And then I do have a Bev blocks and drip, and I have a couple micros.
It's awesome.
Awesome. It's great.
That's beautiful. One thing you hit on that I want to point out is a lot of people don't know this. You can just buy the coin directly. You can actually go in and buy the coin directly without having to mine it. I mean, and I look at the mining side as the asset base because of the node value, potential node value, over and above buying the coin. So when I teach this to my people, I teach, okay, there's a difference in the coin itself because you're looking at the coin as future value. The node itself is an asset of the side. Okay, so that's two sides with this. If you buy the coin, you're basing it on, okay, what is that project going to do? What is it backed by? What's the potential? Is it a hot, commodity? And then the actual physical asset node side, because there's going to be projects within the ecosystem and so on, that's going to allow you to be able to leverage that, okay, down the road. There's going to be a lending side, there's going to be some things. So you have to look at both sides of that. So like what Megan was talking about there, where you can actually go in and buy the coin. Okay, so the coin being based on it's got a value, and every time it moves, you have the ability within your movement in the back end to take a portion of that coin, and I just call it just putting it away. It's just like you're going to put it into a savings account. Well, where do you put it in your savings account? I put it in the debt coin. Okay, so as that's building, and what I do is accumulate so many debt coin in there till I can be able to buy another perpetual node. Does that make sense? Okay, so I went from having the coin, it makes a value, and then I roll it over into a perpetual side by buying the perpetual node, which then creates an asset within the debt box system that I have for future value as an NFT or whatever that may be. Okay, so a lot of guys say, hey, I'm going to buy these coins and I'm going to hold on, never selling anything. Well, my mindset is I can take the coins now, convert them over to a asset that has a future value also. Are there projects I don't sell the coins in? Yes, there are. There's projects that I don't liquidate the coins in, like NatG, Black Gold, DCM, those. Now, aluminum, you guys, right now, aluminum, I have quite a few nodes on that. So what I do is anytime that builds up to X amount of dollars, I'm pilling a portion of that out and I'm buying nodes. People ask me every day, how can you have so many nodes? Well, it's because that's how I've created my personal model within the system to be able to purchase more nodes, because I'm increasing my asset side within the organization of the company. And there's a purpose for that, because when you have 1.7 million people coming on board, those assets are going to dry up very, very quickly. Okay, so when they launch a project, instead of these projects sitting out there for months till they're acquired, we could potentially just have them for weeks before they're gone. And so the sooner you can set aside and jump in on those projects so you get those assets, because remember, they're never going to create any more nodes on those particular projects. And that is what the biggest value within DebtBox is. It's not the coins, it's the asset side. Okay. And that's my personal opinion. Those assets are going to be worth a lot of money because of the value of what those NFTs are going to drive one day. So keep some coin that you're making, convert it to assets. And that way you have the asset side of things, just like traditional banking would be. A bank would do the same thing. They would convert, and that's why they get it out there so they can generate money. But what do they do with the money, you guys? They buy assets, they buy different things. So you are your own bank basically in the system, and you're your own banker, and you're moving your own individual assets around to acquire additional assets. So that's something that we teach. I teach a lot of that comes from years of trading. Trading is that way. You make money and you move it around into additional assets within what you're doing. And I'd be more than happy to share that with you guys as we go along. And then you can kind of see what I do, and then just see if that's something that would work for you guys as well.
Mhm.
Cool.
Great.
Well, my name is Carolyn. I'm from Canada,
Hi, Carol.
Hi,
right
Carol.
smack in the
Hi,
middle
Carolyn.
of Canada, Winnipeg to be exact. And I was introduced to this from Sarah and Kevin probably around February. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. But I purchased the rentals. I got the Explorer and I got the, can't remember, but I just got
Nat G, Carolyn.
Nat G. Okay, thank you, Sarah. And then Sarah called me up last week and told me about this great promotion. I got the micronodes, the $500 price point. And then I purchased 250 yesterday. I just like, it's just so amazing how the money just kind of showed up. But I'm really, really excited about this. And I really want freedom. I just want freedom. I want to get away from the shackles that's holding me down, and you can't afford this and you can't afford that. And I like to help people out. Like if I go to a grocery store and I see a mother with a child, to go and pay for their groceries. Like I just love doing things like that. It just makes me just so happy to put a smile on someone's face and they don't see it coming and you bless them. So I want more of that. And lately I've been, I come on the calls, I listen to things, but I don't take the action. And so I really want to commit to calling people, because you can listen to all the videos and all those, you can watch all that stuff, but if you don't take action, you're not going to get anywhere. And I need to get past that. I don't know if it's lack of confidence, or I just need to just start someplace. Who cares if the words don't come out properly? You just have to do it. And but
Just do it.
just do it.
Don't talk
right?
about it. Just do it. Yeah, stop talking
Right.
about it. Just get it
Okay.
done.
Well, that's
Stop,
what
you know
I'm
what I mean?
talking
Like,
about.
stop telling yourself you're gonna do it. Just get it done, dude.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm talking about. That's why
Yeah, just because when you tell yourself psychologically, you're like getting that dopamine rush. Yeah, I'm gonna get it done. Like I'm almost there. But come on, just get it done. No, I guarantee you, no one in the history, including Albert Einstein, ever said to themselves, "I'm gonna do it." No, they did it.
Yeah.
Well, of course. Okay, thank you so much for that comment.
know what?
But anyway,
Carolyn, really quickly, the saying, it's not about the words of the song, but how you sing the song.
right, exactly.
What do you find Is it you're having trouble finding motivation? Is that what the problem is? Is it time management?
It's a
Where
little
do you find, like, what's the first bump besides you? Just out of curiosity.
The first bump, the first
Yeah, no, like, so the
block?
first hurdle is you, which is usually the case for all of us. So now you get past that. So I mean, like, what is the next thing that will stop you besides you? Like, what is the first thought that comes to your mind that prevents you from doing this?
Mhm.
I think organization, my job that I do, I'm all over the map. Like I don't have a 9 to 5 job. For example, I need to pick
Gotcha.
them, you're right. I'm all over the place. I have to be up at 3:30 this morning I drive limos. So I don't have a
Okay.
regular schedule.
Cool.
And but anyways, the takeaway that I have is with this is to sock away my money as much as I can because I really want to get a perpetual. And I understand what you're saying with this 1.7 million or whatever's coming in, things are going to explode and I want to be ready. So but that's my commitment. My situation is I need to take action and I'm ready to do that.
That's great.
Yay.
Thanks, Carolyn. That's great. So yeah, I'd
Next
to hear
Zoom meeting, you'll be
somebody-
action.
love to hear from somebody else. Oh, yeah.
I got a
Um,
question.
Oh,
Oh, there you
go ahead, doctor.
guys.
Denise. On the memberships, okay, when you have people that are
Mhm.
interested in the affiliate program, are you saying that any membership will get them to participate? They can participate in the affiliate program, or is the $50 one the only one that doesn't work? I mean,
No,
You
the
know-
50 does. The 50, it used to not, but now when people get the $50, it gives them the ability to build the business side. So they can also purchase the nodes. It used to not be that way.
Is it all of it, Eric, the volume 2 or just the fast
No,
start?
I believe it's a total of 40 BV if I remember right. And then the next you have to scale up. So, but at least it gets their foot in the door to kind of, get to a point. And then if they want to build more, then you can help them get to that next level so that they can get a different subscription. But at least it starts them down that path.
so even if they just sign up, let's say they say, you know what, just get 3 micros, you can get the 150 membership, which gets you the 3 micros. You just buy the 3 micros, but that
Yep.
counts.
Correct.
100%. Yep.
Okay,
That-
okay.
That's exactly what I do is what you just described. It gets them in and then it gets something working for them that they can visually see. Because I don't know about you guys, but I love looking at the numbers. Check them out and having people being able to do the same thing, even though it's a different scale, they're looking at it going, wow, in 24 hours, I made this and I didn't have to do a thing for it. It's just running. So it does something. It turns on something in people's brains when they can see that. But when they just join and they don't have something going for themselves, it mentally is a little different for them because they're not sharing those experiences. Because there's during the days, and Doug will attest to this, when we sign up somebody, usually the next day after we get them all set up, I'm like, hey, have you had a chance to check your debt box? And and some of the guys will be like, yeah, I've checked it 6 times today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it psychologically does something to people when they do that. And so
That's one of the major improvements that this company has put in the last like 6 to 8 months, where you can just bring people in and just put it on a credit card. They don't need no exchanges, no wallets, no crypto rabbit holes you got to go down with them. You get them in and you get them looking at their app and watching the coins stack up every minute of the day. Because then they're engaged. And so that was one of the things in the beginning, it was just, there were the rentals, but it was 60 days and then it went away. So this is just so much easier. It's just,
yeah.
And I just don't know that we've, as a team, and I look when I'm working more with my team, I don't know that they've all really understand how easy it is now to get people started.
Yeah.
With
Well,
just
one thing I like is with this new thing with the 150 or 250, because some people have a problem with membership.
that's
You know,
right.
you got to buy nodes and have a membership. Like this is basically, you almost got rid of the membership. If you're going to buy anyways, if you have a problem with the membership, listen, just get the 150, you're getting 3 micros.
Yeah.
And that is your membership, but you're also getting the micros. So yeah, I think that makes a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to,
It's basically 2 for 1.
Yes.
yeah, definitely. Yep. I want to ask somebody on here if they'll talk for just a second. Casey. Let me tell you something. Casey on here, he's a brother. I mean, we're that close. We're brothers. And Casey's got an amazing story. He's one of the hardest workers I've ever witnessed and seen in my life. He's just an amazing guy. Casey, tell them a little bit about you and tell them how you got into this, why you got into this, and just kind of give a little bit of rundown, if you would.
Let's see, it's what, almost top of the hour. Go grab a drink. I don't know. Eric and I go back a couple years. I was in another group previously a couple years ago, and as was Eric. We were no way connected. He was a guest speaker on a Zoom call. He was an invited guest to talk about some strategies in the Forex market. Never seen this dude in my life. And when I saw him show up, I'm like, he looks like me. He's a normal dude. And so anyway, long story short on that aspect, they opened the floor to some questions and I had asked him a question. A couple months had passed and I had no way to get a hold of him because I had no affiliation with him. So I found him. I stalked him on Facebook and I found him and I messaged him and I asked a question. And from that point on, we just developed a relationship and fostered into something really cool. The funny thing is, I think I talked to Eric, if not by text, Zoom, or phone call, probably as much as my wife. So, Eric, thank you for opening up your yeah, right, exactly. So a year ago, in fact, I think it was June of last summer, Eric bombed me a call, says, hey, I'm going to be checking something out. This was the debt box thing. And talking about these nodes and BGLD, and that was Greek to me, so I had no idea. And I sat in on the same Zoom call he did. And I was in the midst of building a little tiny home apartment on the property we're at. So I was tying up some of my resources to get that buttoned up. The money I had stacked away to jump in with Eric at the time, I spent on some flooring. I figured that flooring cost me over $100,000.
Wow.
Because the two licenses that I planned on buying were BGLDs. And know what happened there. So when he come back to me in October, this last fall, he tells me what I missed out on. And I was like, he's like, you really need to take a look at what we got going on. So there you go. That was my introduction into the debt. Since then, we've purchased 5 licenses. Those are just as a result of doing some side jobs. I'm in construction. I pour concrete for a living. So I've been able to be in a position to be able to resource myself into the projects those way. I've got probably 50, give or take a few micronodes just from the different various, the 18 pack that just came out. Some just buying a little bit more on the bulk side, just to kind of to pony up. My plans in terms of what I am doing with the tokens, I'm not in a position to really part with them at the moment, simply because the accumulation at this point is not really where it needs to be to really capitalize on it yet. I certainly won't be touching Nats G. I could that much, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But the licenses, I just want to accumulate those over time. And Eric and I had a call earlier this week. We were talking about maybe buying some of these licenses on the lower end, just for the asset viability down the road. So while they may not turn out the initial big coin impact, there's a bigger picture in play a little further down the road that would be, I think, really beneficial. So that's the plan for now for us. I'm in my early 50s. I'd like to be done pouring concrete within the next 2 years. My 55 is my goal. It conceivably could happen before then. So Eric, as you guys have probably figured out by now, he's probably one of the most giving individuals I have ever met in my life. And since then, Eric and I have met up in different occasions. We travel a lot. We've been able to bump into each other and make time to get our families together and hang out for a little bit. But you're a gem, dude, and you are a powerhouse within this company. And I think a lot of people realize that. If they don't, your name is going to be as synonymous as some of the big rollers that walk on this planet as anybody I've ever known. So appreciate you. And it's good to see a lot of I've recognized a lot of the names here. It's good to see some faces to the names that I've seen. And so anyway, that's my story.
Cool.
And by the way, I have an amazing partner. She's recovering at the moment, so she's not here sitting next to me, but without her, none of this is possible. So there you go.
Well, and you
Thanks,
also have
Casey.
you have two of your boys in, right, Casey?
Yeah.
Your sons are in?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. So thank you for bringing that up, Doug. Yeah, I've got 3 kids. My daughter's married. They've got their own stuff going on at the moment, but they're soon until they're watching what we're doing. My 2 boys, 19 and 23, both have stake in debt with tokens. They've back in the renting days, that's how they acquired. Yeah, and actually my 19-year-old has already got 3 guys that that he wants to bring to me. They're buddies of his that are they take economics in college. So this is something that sort of speaks to them. If they don't understand it, they've been asking me a lot of questions. And I sound like a genius, and I really am not.
Yeah. Well,
What are you laughing
Well,
for,
you're
Eric?
awesome, Casey. I appreciate that. Casey's a perfect example of getting into this with a plan. A lot of people get into it blind, and that's what makes all of us, what Sarah's and Kevin and Doug and all of us have here. We have the ability to create that plan, and Casey's a perfect example. And if you set that out, then you can teach your children this. Always say this is one of these things that you're creating. Yes, you'll make money. You're gonna, I feel strong that nobody's guaranteed, but I mean, I feel strong, confident that we're sitting on an awesome, amazing growth opportunity. But also the generational side of this, setting this up for potential generational wealth for your children and so on to leave. That's a very real possibility with what we have here. And so you're not just doing it for yourselves, but you're doing it for those that are involved in you, in your family and so on. But that doesn't come without a plan and having a plan to focus around.
mm-hmm. Right. And writing it down. I just can't, I know we hear this over and over and over again, but you've got to write your goals and your plan down, and also share it. I think when you take goals public and share them on this forum or just with your buddy or your wife or whatever, it just makes it so much more real. And then you can, if you don't share your goals, there's no opportunity to celebrate. And one of the things that we want to do is, that's why I really want to hear from people what you're going to do as your finances get more robust. What are you going to do so that we can all celebrate your wins? So is there anybody else that wants to share? Denise or Elise or Kelly, any of you guys?
Hey, I'm Denise. Hold on, I'm gonna open the video. Sorry. Hi.
Hi.
My daughter Ty.
Okay.
I want so much. I want to be greedy. I'm sorry. The platform, when I say I want so much, let me try to phrase it so you can understand. I want to grow with the company. I want to know there's so much knowledge out there, and I wish I could quit my 9-to-5 just to be full-time on the laptop learning, because not only is there knowledge, but there's ways to make money, and they're showing you. You just have to have the time to sit down. The tools, the keys. I feel like, oh my God, I forget mining. I have the mine, and I'm excited. I'm from Florida. I'm in Point St. Lucie, and my goal is to be free physically, emotionally. And I'm in a challenge. So that's something else that I'm learning. To be free all the way around and be okay. And the company is offering that. If you can put the knowledge in the tools that they're giving you, oh man, life could be so beautiful. And you're like, oh my God, I didn't know life was so beautiful. So that's my thing. What else? The challenge is great. The money is even greater because I can manifest it. I could be like, this is what's gonna happen, you guys. I'm learning the demos with the trading and stuff like that. So that's even more beautiful. Today, you guys manifest. I'm not talking much about the challenge, but what you put out there, oh my God, you guys, you just don't understand. I'm not, because I watched the Zoom, I was on your Zoom last week, and how to approach and, how to send out the videos and, what do you say, what do you not say? And today, you guys, my biggest fear is like, I don't know the business. I'm excited about the business, but I don't know. All I know it's something big and it's beautiful, and I'm happy that I'm in it. Today, a friend of mine's called me and I was sharing my happiness, and she's like, I want some of that. Can you
Right.
imagine? I didn't put no work, you guys. That's the beauty behind the law, the secret. This girl said she wants some of what I got. I'm sorry. So
Yeah.
that's even more beautiful. So I'm happy. I can't wait to stand in a pole and talk about IX, the knowledge, what I have learned, and I can help somebody else to grow. So I'm just excited. I'm happy to have my
Awesome.
wings.
I love it. I love to hear it. I love to hear the excitement. That's
Yes.
because people feed off of that. We all feed off of that. So
And it's so funny, you're excited, but I can't even explain it. It's, how you see something and you're like excited about it,
Sure.
but you can't even explain it. You just know it's good. It is good. I don't know the recipe, but it is good stuff,
Yep.
So
Yes.
that's me with the company. And I'm hoping that, I'm praying that I learn the company, I use the materials, and I'm hoping that I can learn to share it properly and, to break it down to help more people come in and to have more people excited. So, like I said, my friend, she saw the joy, she saw the happiness. And, like I said, I'm on the challenge, and she's like, I want some of what you got. What are you hiding? And then I explained, and she's like, girl, you can't be a millionaire by yourself. Give me some. So I set up an appointment for her. So that's even, you have to manifest to get what you want. And that kind of broke the door. So hopefully my ring, hey, you guys be proud of me.
Yeah.
Hopefully she joins, and
Yeah,
that's
that's
even
great.
more,
Yeah.
that's
I
even
love
more
it.
joy on my end.
That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
We
Thanks.
love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
That
No
was
problem.
amazing, Denise.
Thank you.
Kelly, you want to share with us?
Sure.
Oh, great.
Been a while. I've kind of been on a hiatus for being involved in the Zoom calls, but Sarah knows I always come back. So I signed up with Sarah and Kevin back in January, and I have been pretty lucky in that both myself, my father, and then my father decided to do some, and he literally just gave me a bunch of money and said, here, do what you want. But we set up for my kids. So if anybody has set up accounts for children, I know how to fix all that, by the way, because I've had to reset 3 wallets and like do everything. It's a lot of process, but yeah, you can get your kids accounts. You just need to make sure that you're the adult on it. I created their own emails and everything for their own account. So we have, I don't know, I've got somewhere around 60 grand in. We've got 2 debt licenses. I was lucky, got my
Great.
other one of those. And I grabbed when there were those 30 last Nat G licenses that we paid the top dollar for, I got 2 of those, one for him and one for me. So those were really smart, expensive investments. But I know that in the long term, because we're long-term holders, we haven't sold a single token. It's sitting and it's going to sit. And we're waiting this whole thing out because I know how this is going to roll. This is going to be big. 3 to 5 years from now, we're all going to be on our own islands kind of shit. And hopefully we're all connected so we can just boat to each other's islands kind of thing. Sarah, we've talked about this.
I got dibs on your island.
But I also have a Bev and an Explorer. Everybody has an Explorer because we understand when you really grasp the intricacy of how these are cross affiliated. One thing affects another thing, And when you can look at the picture from that aspect and say, just for example, water. Well, water is affected by drip, Explorer, debt. Like there's multiples that are all in it. And if you have a particular item, like Eric was saying, with being interested in a certain group, you got to certain interests like water. You have multiple different options of how you can diversify things that will benefit you in the long run for all of those. But you know, a lot of people are, the first question is, you know, well, if I'm putting in 500, what's my return on investment? No, that is not in your subject line. That is not something that you even want to discuss. You need to change the mindset. It's not about the $500 you're putting in for those 18 micronodes right now. It's what is the value of the tokens that those micronodes are going to mine, and what is that value going to be in 3 to 5 years from now?
Okay.
A $500 investment could turn into $500,000 in this kind of a ecosystem. It's very important that people look at the big picture from, like, you know, looking at it from 30,000 feet up above the air and look at the whole thing. Look how it's all designed. I have had the luxury of being able to talk to Jason. Jason is one of my favorite people. If I could get an hour or 2 hours with that man, I would be in hog heaven. Because these people know what they're doing. They have figured out how to do it the right way. This is that golden opportunity that comes along once in a lifetime. And we're the lucky ones that have been able to get in at the bare bottom start of the construction situation. We're very lucky. We're going to be very blessed. And starting small, building like Eric does. I mean, Eric, if I could have had that, you know, drip or those DCM accounts, and the way that you've been able to work the system to the advantage and see the numbers that you got pulling, man, I wish right now I could. But unfortunately, I invested in the debt token.
Yeah.
And it take me a while because there's only 5,000 of those available a year, you know, and those are hard to come by. So, you know, that is something though, as far as if you can have a goal of saving up and getting one of those when they come up again in, you know, December or January, that is a very smart move. And that's a good goal for people to have, that if they have the ability to work on a number like that, but not everybody does. I just want to say, Sarah and Kevin tried for about 5 months before I even got involved in January, knowing this is my cup of tea. And I also put it at bay, avoided it. Oh, I don't want to look at another thing right now. And I am kicking my ass for not doing so, because I would have picked up 10 of those Nat G licenses on the spot. Black Gold if I could have, every single thing I could get my hands on. And when you look at the asset value of your total wallet, you know, I paid, and I'm a realist, I'm black and white, and I'm on the numbers thing. I paid $7,500 for a Nat G license right now that my value is over $72,000.
Yeah.
Did I make a bad decision there?
No.
Nope. Am I going to sell it? Nope.
Nope.
Because even now I know that could go tenfold in another 5 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
Absolutely.
So this is about wealth building for generations to come. You want to talk about leaving something for your children or your grandchildren? That's what you've got your hands on here.
Yeah.
Very unique.
Yep. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just want to jump in and really talk about that a little bit, because I think the fact that, you know, this is a business opportunity, you know, whether it's MLM or affiliate network, or this is a business opportunity in addition to the investment. But one of the things that really sets this apart for me is the longevity. These guys are talking about 100-year this, 150-year, you know, they're buying land with oil, you know, and so there's a comfort level of, you know, this, it's not like a sprint. You're like, oh, you know what, I can wait 3 months to bring somebody in because I'm confident that if they get in 3 months, it's going to be okay. There'll still be great opportunities for them. And if they get in and stay in and have a plan, 3 to 5 years from now, they'll do really well. And with all the rug pulls and everything else that's going on and regulation issues, this is a really unique opportunity. And I hope that in the weeks ahead, we can continue to flesh that out amongst ourselves, how really unique this thing is. So anyway, how are we doing on time, Sarah? Are we okay? Or
I think maybe we can do another 15 minutes. I know that this one's a little bit longer, but if, you know, anybody else wants to share, what they've invested or what their goals are, I'd love to hear, and maybe we can hear from one or two others and then we can
Okay.
call it a night.
I just have a quick question. The young lady that was just on talking, did you say you purchased your, was it Nat G for 7,500 and it's now valued at what?
Over 70,000. And the reason why is because IX Global, you know, they get the licenses at wholesale. Well, when Debtbox sells their licenses, when the licenses are all sold out, the value of your license that you buy at wholesale is then the last selling price. Its value is the last sale price that Debtbox sold a license for. So the last license that Nat G sold themselves through Debtbox was sold for 70,000 plus. And so when I knew when some of these are, when that opportunity came up for a $7,500, that's literally all the money I had left was 7,500, and I had exactly 7,500 of my dad's money left. And I immediately, as soon as Travis posted on Facebook, I said, hold me too, I'm headed to the bank. And I literally rushed to the bank and wired all that money because I knew what they had sold the last one for. I knew that I was already getting tenfold my investment in an asset. Now, it's not an asset that I have access to that money right now. It's an asset that at that particular moment had that value. So when it becomes an NFT and they go on the market, if people sell their Nat G license, you can buy it, but it's probably going to be going at that price that Debtbox sold it for. So the starting price for those things will be at least 70. I would not put it past that they actually start at 100 or more. And the reason why is because everybody knows the more wells they add into their royalty program, the more burns, and now it has a double halving throughout the year, January 1st and January 1st. The
July.
value of that Nat G is going to be astronomical.
Yeah.
And it's
Plus-
because of the
Yeah.
wells, you know what's coming. It's not about today. This
No.
is about when they have 250 wells on board. Think about this for a second. Right now, they have like what, one that's running?
They have more than that. I believe it's 55.
Okay, natural gas ones. Okay, that's good. Well, it was one.
Okay.
But the oil wells, when I first started, were like, there were only 17. Just for an example, okay, say there's 17 oil wells that are bringing in royalty and it's burning about close to 6 million a month, right? It's burning out and getting those coins out. Well, what happens when there's 200 of those fuckers coming in? Excuse my French.
Mhm.
200 wells of oil coming in, okay? Take your 17 at 6 million. What is that at 200? Think of that massive growth of volume. And it doesn't matter if there's one coin out there. If they have to spend that 60 million they got or whatever it is to buy that coin, that's what they have to do. That's what the trust is for. It's the growth, the constant forward motion of adding more, getting those royalties larger. And there's only a finite number of licenses and tokens in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, the compounding numbers of this, Jason keeps saying, you don't know what you have your hands on. And I'm sitting there looking at him going, oh, yes, I do. I know what's coming. I can do the math and figure it out. And I have never in my life been more excited or more confident in the money that my family and myself have invested into what is coming down in the long run. My father's losing his ass in BlackRock on the stock market right now, but can I get him to get the money out and buy more licenses? Not right now, but it's coming.
Yeah.
You know, it's that longevity of the true numbers. We're in the baby stages, guys. Like we're like a toddler, like a 2-year-old toddler right now. Okay. Literally. Imagine when we're just a teenager.
Yeah.
Well, great story.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Ramble.
Kelly,
One of the things to remember is that the big thing too that I want to hit on with Kelly is that, you know, natural gas and DCM are connected. You know, because and they feed off of one another, which is really good because Even if you look at the logo, I don't know if you guys spent time and you looked at the logo of the Nat G logo, you see the flame, but then you look at the logo of the DCM, you see the stacks of miners, and then it's also got the flame in there. So that represents that the natural gas is part of the crypto mining side. So that's really, really big. When those two feed off of one another, you're almost doubling everything that's the ability of that one product. So I think they're all going to benefit from that side.
That was incredible. Thank you guys for that. I feel like we're getting so much knowledge from this.
Mhm.
I want to kind of see if we can get maybe one more person to chime in before we wrap
Hey,
up.
Sarah, I just want to say something. First of all, everybody, you guys are just so full of passion and conviction and confidence, and you guys know what you guys know what you have. And you know, I feel the energy, I feel the positivity, and I feel what we have here and through all of you guys, and we just share that excitement together. And I wanted to say something else, and I don't want to, just 30 seconds, just so I could chime in here and kind of, you know, IX Global, if it wasn't for IX Global, I'm sure DebtBox would have, you know, I don't think there is a better partner. I think that's why IX Global is the partner, but IX Global made it possible. Joe Martinez and IX Global made it possible for all of us to get in, just your average person, to be able to get their hands on nodes. And then they took it a step further to let us even get involved with the micro nodes, which is incredible for so everybody can get a piece of the pie. If that isn't generous, if that isn't a huge statement to the world, you know, because you know, if this was just DebtBox doing what DebtBox does, you know, they would be doing great, by the way, on the market with a lot of wealthy people, and it would really only go to them. But to be able to spread the wealth through every single person on earth through IX Global and their mission, I couldn't imagine a better partner and a better mission with anyone else. I just want to express my gratitude for that. I want to express my gratitude and appreciation to you guys, and just everything we're doing here. And that, if there isn't any other better incentive to be able to get this out and share this wealth with everybody, I don't know what is. So I just wanted to share that with everybody, express my gratitude, and just yeah.
Thanks.
Thank
Great.
you, Bob.
Great.
Cool.
Do we want anybody else to chime in, or do we want to wrap it up?
I think Jorge's got his hand up. You want to jump in quick, Jorge?
Yeah, I just wanted to let you, I'm actually buying I'm transferring to BTC now. I'm transferring 1,000 right now, but I'm gonna go with the drip. That's pretty much the consensus that I got from everyone.
Yeah.
So
Great.
I don't know what the next steps are, but I will watch the videos, and if I have questions, I'll reach out to my recruiter.
Yep.
And that'll be all. Thank you so much, you guys, for your time. Time is actually more valuable than all these tokens.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
All right, thanks. Yeah, good luck.
Take care.
Good luck
You
on
too.
your-
Thanks, buddy. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys. So we're gonna wrap it up for the night. And I don't know why I'm echoing there. Okay. And next week we'll be meeting back here at 6 p.m. I think that this is a good time for us, unless we kind of hear otherwise. Doug,
Well, you know what? I just wanted a couple of things. One is Travis, because we're going to try to get Travis to join us either.
I'm just waiting to hear back from him.
Okay. So he's going to be jumping in from time to time, but we'll come as prepared as we can, and then we'll be looking, because a lot of, what you guys shared tonight was really valuable. I mean, I learned a lot, so that's great. But just, we want to ask really quick with the group that's still on here, does 6 o'clock work? Are most of you East Coast or West Coast, or would you
6
prefer?
o'clock what? What is that in Central? Is
6
that 6 o'clock
Pacific,
Mountain?
9 Eastern, like we did this week and last week, or do we want to bump it an hour earlier is pretty much what we're asking.
Well, first of all, is this recorded?
Yes.
And where is it going to be found?
I will post it in our IX growth group. I
Okay.
will upload it and post it in that feed that we have, and I'll get on that by morning time.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me because I'm all over, like I said, right? So
But does anybody want to move it to 5 o'clock? I'm just going to ask that. Otherwise, we'll just stay with 6. No.
I think this is a good time. I know
Sarah,
that.
this works okay for me. It's 12:30 here in Australia.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's why I
wow.
wanted.
Elise,
wanted
where
to
are
use-
you?
I'm in Australia,
Where, Melbourne or,
New South Wales, in a little beach town called Newcastle.
wow,
About
nice.
an hour and a half away from Sydney.
Okay. Up a little further north. Well, beautiful. Thanks for, what time is it there? It's got to be an unusual.
12:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
nice.
but I'm from Los Angeles. I just live here in Australia.
Ah, okay.
That makes it
And I'm
fun.
excited. I just came in with Sarah and Kevin. They tried to get me in for about a year. And I'm a biologist and I do a lot of quantum biology things. And I had so many other things I was working with. And now I'm like all the other people kicking myself in the ass for not doing it.
You're
That's
still,
okay. You're still in it right at the right time. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
We've
Well, my
we've
spidey
yet to
sense
grow.
went off. All
Yeah.
my spidey senses, especially that drip, that was a no-brainer.
Oh, yeah.
well,
Definitely.
well, DCM, don't miss out on DCM. That project, Bitcoin mining, and the dividends that it pays, that's going to be a really great project. But, Eric and I have a guy, but he's in Western Australia. But still, you never know. We're going to build around you and hopefully you'll be able to have an event down there at some point.
That would be awesome. Look, I'm an amateur at this. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I'm just letting my intuition guide me. And it's like I said, my spidey sense goes off and that's it,
Yeah, you
And I
gotta
just
trust
think,
it,
yeah, that
right?
feels good. That feels good. That feels sticky.
If there's,
That
if
feels
there's,
good.
I think Elise has the strongest sense of intuition I've ever met in anybody in my entire life. And so yeah, she knows. Your
great.
intuition knows.
Well, if you ever get back to LA, I'm based here in Marina del Rey, Playa del Rey. I'd love to meet up.
I still have a boat there at the moment.
Do you really? I was just there, Elise. That's so
At the
cool.
Santa Monica Yacht Club. I still have one of my sailboats moored there.
All right.
Nice.
I leave it for my friends to hang out on.
Hey,
They all love me.
Hey, Eric, do you mind if I share that real quick DCM story from a week ago?
Not at all. Go ahead.
So Eric was going to walk me through to pick up a DCM license. My wife was in the hospital, and so I had some time to kill, and I was at home. And it was later in the evening. Eric and I made a time to meet up and do a Zoom. While he was dropping a bit of information on one of our in his Telegram group, that IX was offering a DCM license for $3,500, which we found out later was a typo. But they had to honor that. So as I'm waiting, I'm seeing this pop up on my screen, waiting for Eric to come on. And I told him, I said, Eric, I thought these were selling for $5,000. He says, no, they just posted for $3,500. I said, well, my wife doesn't know this, but I'm buying two now, not one. Wow. We got a twofer. Of course, it was $7,000 instead of $5,000. So the next morning I went to the hospital. I said, hey, babe, I just did a thing. I doubled the fun. And so anyway, I just wondered, was there anybody else that fell into that? And it was literally by accident, because Eric, correct me if I'm wrong, but if it was on there for an hour or an hour and a half,
Maybe.
It was on
I
there
don't
for
even know if
5
it was
minutes.
that long. Yeah.
so anyway, that was just a funny story. I didn't want to share that. So
Yeah, you got a good deal on them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Congratulations and great work. Yeah.
Yeah. It was all about timing. He got the right timing and we just happened to look and they were $3,500. So
Right.
yeah.
That's fantastic. So I'm going to stop recording now since we're approaching an hour and a half in.